exclusive footage of just infuriating.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Storypath Showcase, Trinity Continuum, Anima. How is everyone doing this evening? Are you all excited to be here? I'm excited to have you back here. We have returned, and I brought back the Aberrant cast because they apparently didn't do enough damage last time. If you're watching at home, we are here to promote Trinity Continuum, Anima. You can't see it because my chair's in the way, which is going on Kickstarter very, very soon. And you can, in fact, head over right now to Kickstarter and check out the advanced page, the preview page, as it were, and follow it so that you get a notification when Kickstarter goes live. So today we're going to do session 0, and as I said, we have our crew from Storypath Showcase Aberrant here. I'm so excited to have them here so they can see the fallout of the type of behavior that they engage in their normal roles on this channel, and welcome them to the wonderful world of Cascade. So, without further ado, I will go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves, please, if you would, starting with, let's start with Chaz this time, and we'll work our way around. If you could, please tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, and anything you would like to share with the group, places people can find you, things along those lines.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Chaz, he, him. I'm a PhD student at Colorado State University, where I look at stories and narratives and how we as players create those narratives with mechanics of the game, specifically how music alters those creations. So lots of stories, lots of narratives, and lots of games, all kind of thrown in there for good measure. I am usually not found on the internet, but I think recently Travis has tricked me, and now you can find me on the internet. I was lucky enough to work with him on the class collection, which was super fun. So there's a whole set of classes that are like for the Scarlands setting, and some unique brand new classes. So check that out. If you're looking for me, that's the only place I am right now, but apparently I will be on the internet more, as I'm also going to be here causing more. We don't cause damage at all. Like saving people and not causing any damage whatsoever.
Right, not a single black hole powered punch
at all. Like, who would do that?
No clue. Next up, that brings us to Pesto. Please give us all of your pertinent details.
Oh, I don't know how pertinent they are, but hello, everybody. I am Pesto Mystic. I am a random Twitch streamer. I randomly stream on Twitch. That's how random that is. And I'm glad to be back with these lovely people that would never hurt a single blade of grass, So I'm really excited to do this. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here. And you'll find it very easy to not harm a single blade of grass in Cascade. I don't know if there's even any grass there.
It's all virtual grass.
It's all virtual grass. And last but not least, we have Alex. Please give us all of your pertinent details.
Yeah, my name is Alex, he, him. I'm a filthy casual who has known our storyteller for way too long enough, in fact, to continually blackmail him to end up on these little panels. So it's a great time. I'm looking forward to bucking all of the intents on not destroying anything and coming up with schemes and plans that will definitely speed the world toward its rapid descent.
Excellent. Greatly appreciated. I'm glad you're here to throw a wrench in the spanner, as it were, a spanner in the works. Or
also, occasionally there's a dog. It's hiding right now.
That's true. We might get some stream puppy happening. So yeah, this is our session 0. Today, the reason for the season is character creation. I do want to make sure that everyone is aware that Gilbert Ramos will also be joining us next session. At this point, he is occupied by Sir not appearing in this stream over in the corner there, but he will be here eventually. Just had a last minute thing pop up, wasn't able to make session 0. So we'll all get to be surprised by what he's playing next week. So yes, we are going to dive into character creation. This is set in the 2080s. This is after the Aberrant War. The world has recently gone through quite a calamity as the Aberrants and humanity got into a bit of a spat. The Aberrant War has destroyed large portions of the environment, large portions of the population. I think it's around 1 billion people died in the Aberrant War. It ultimately led to the fall of several governments and the reformation of others, including the formation of the Federated States of America, everyone's favorite fascist country. And in the wake of the Aberrant War, the FSA has set up this city called Cascade, which is sort of a city of the future. It's an opportunity for people to come and start anew and experience safety and security that citizenship in the FSA can offer. In addition to that safety and security, when you attain citizenship, you also get a install of glass, this optic neural interface that allows you to interact with not only the augmented reality of Cascade, but also the award-winning, super popular multiplayer online role-playing game of Terra Surge. So as we are creating our anima characters, you will be creating kind of 2 characters in a fashion. You'll be creating the you that is in the world, and you will be creating your anima, your icon that you use while in the game. Sound fair and fun to all parties concerned?
I'm excited.
Excellent. Well, let's just start things right off with character creation. So the basic steps of character creation do follow the same rules and will refer to the Trinity Continuum core book, which is now available in your friendly local game store and at Drive-Thru RPG and all sorts of fun places. So we start with the same steps. You'll have your step of your concept. Now, in Anima, one of the things to kind of keep in mind as you're drawing up your character, or as you're coming up with your character concept, is the idea that you are in this world that has just been rocked by a destructive global war. Of course, as there is with any conflict, there are people that came out on top, people that came out on the bottom. One aspect to consider is that at the end of the Aberrant War, when the Chinese government gave the ultimatum and the Aberrants left, many of them also took several baselines with them, whether they were members of Aberrant loyalists and cults, or whether they maybe just took them forcibly. So there are entire families that have been separated and lives that have been ruined because most of the people, went with the Aberrants. So that's an option. Your home may have been destroyed previously. That's an option. You may have been a soldier in the Aberrant. That's an option. These are all things to sort of consider what sort of person you'd like to play in this sort of cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic, reeling from the destruction of global conflict type of world. So at a broad level, I know from conversations before we hopped on stream that you had a bit of a concept together, Alex. So do you want to start and illustrate kind of a little bit about what you're thinking on a conceptual level?
Sure, no pressure. The character I am planning on playing is a philanthropist. Oh, the dog is back. A philanthropist, kind of most of his family, well, almost all of his family, for the most part, was decimated either during the war or was part of the evacuation. It's not publicly known whether or not they left as, slaves, or whether they were, whether they left voluntarily, but all of the assets that his family had were essentially his. And he took advantage of that to basically begin building a small, financial empire for those that were being basically in support of those that were kind of being psychologically plagued by the trauma that was going on, as like psychological medicine has become even more paramount, since a lot of the kind of trivial medical concerns have gone out the window. The bigger concerns now are like people suffering from all sorts of like post-traumatic stress or desensitization from being online all the time, all those other things. So, he runs both kind of public and private clinics that, help people figure out how to get forward in their lives, and helps them with diagnosis and all the other things. At least that's kind of his public persona. He does lead a bit of a double life. His online persona, Valentine, is, I haven't decided whether he's going to be a muse or a channeler, but Valentine is not a philanthropist. Valentine weaponizes a lot of the information he gets from his clients and the people that he helps in order to target those people with advertisements, marketing, and opportunities to indulge in things that they may or may not be susceptible to, inevitably putting them in positions where they may fall into debt, be it financially or otherwise. And if they're financial debts that they can't necessarily pay, he encourages them to pay their debts in other ways using their online personas through whatever means his clientele decides to take advantage of, whether it be, let's say, farming money or resources in the online world, or let's say more private or discrete interactions online. I wouldn't want to necessarily call it like indentured servitude, but it's close. It's pretty close. But that's basically his life. So it's not like he doesn't help people, but he definitely benefits off the back of the help that he does do. Morally, it's kind of a wash, I guess. It depends on how much damage he ends up doing. But yeah, that's whatever guild he ends up in is likely either part of the enforcement mechanism that he uses to keep these people in line that end up in debt to him. And I'm hoping to be able to get enough resources wise to also establish some sort of like a shadow clinic, so that he can also help perform jailbreaks of the glass that gets installed. So that, because a lot of the applications that people would have to upload for his endeavors would require non-necessarily approved software to override certain things, or like obtain private information or what have you. So in a nutshell, that's Valentine / Anthony Valentino, philanthropist, and definitely not online mafioso.
I love it. So next up, we'll say
Pesto, you okay?
Yeah.
Are we still friends? Is that okay?
You look like you're experiencing a great deal of shock.
It was so deep. I could probably sum up my character in like 2 words.
Well, you're in luck, because it's your time to shine. What are your 2 words?
Broke person.
Love it. Okay. Do you have any thoughts on the circumstances that have led to your poverty?
came out at the bottom of that war, and I like to think that now they're a part of like a tent village or something, and is very defending of the people that are around them, because it felt like, I believe she feels like all the people that are on the bottom of the society at the moment are all like the good people that kind of got effed over like during this entire changeover process. So
Ooh.
that's as deep as that goes. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's all the depth that we really need, I think.
You're not a
Yeah, Alex.
Look, I had a lot of time at the Mongolian Grill, okay, and I printed out the book, and it just kind of started, okay.
You read this thing? No, this is wonderful. That's very inspiring.
It warms my heart. And I guess, yeah, so that sounds solid conceptually. And then Chaz, what did you have in mind for your concept?
I was thinking like orphanage, and then somehow was like chosen to come to this like great nation or whatever. And so like the going from like the orphanage to like having food is great. And so he decided to become very overtly, probably annoyingly positive. And like, if you're just positive, you can like make it work. We can do this. I don't have a plan. You don't need a plan. Let's just like make it like we can like just like, yeah.
So if toxic positivity were a person.
If toxic positivity was a person and met another toxic positivity and then had a toxic positivity child and trained the toxic positivity child in toxic positivity to like double or reinforce, that's what we're going for.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. And just did either of you have any thoughts on your online personas, or that's something I'm planning on getting into that once we have the core persona done? But did you have any thoughts on your animas and what you wanted to do with those, or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I was gonna say a little bit, but
Yeah. What did you have?
I know my name's gonna be Pom Pom online.
Nice. Love it.
No, I guess I think she uses it mostly as an escape, and also to test out, I guess, these societal skills, test out like trying to climb out of this like financial hole through the game rather than having to do that in real life.
Excellent. I love everything I'm hearing so far. So, as you may recall from our last Storypath Showcase, the next thing we need to settle on is our aspirations. You will have 2 short terms and a long term. Once again, I just want to stress that the short terms should generally be able to be accomplished within the span of 1 session. The long terms, very much not so. And I also do want to stress, just to drive the point home, the Anima text, as you'll see if you back it on Kickstarter, does a very good job of bringing this point home as well. This doesn't necessarily have to be a in-character goal. Your aspiration can be just something that you as a player would like to see happen at the table. That's fine too. In fact, they could even be something that is literally detrimental to your character. It's just something you would like to have experience for the story. So, and the aspirations, for those of you who are watching that may not be familiar with Trinity Continuum, the aspirations sort of drive the direction the story is going to be going. So that's where that sort of interplay between like what the player wants, what the character wants, can come into play. And they're also the primary means by which experiences are. So
You said the memes. I'm sorry.
You're not online yet.
I know. Look, okay, I'm just sliding into mode, okay? We're
So
good. Ready.
I get a hold of Alex and I say, hey, so there's this game coming out, Anima, and there's an MMO. He's like, done.
I was here for this, okay? I'm ready. And I'm so sad that Gilbert can't be here because I wanted to see Gilbert's face when I described my bastard. Like I really, really did. And I'm not going to have that.
We should just, what we'll do is we'll send him the VOD and we'll make him TikTok react to it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, any thoughts on aspirations, Alex?
Not yet. I'm
Wow, really?
well, so because you mentioned the player thing, like it kind of forced me to change gears a bit. Like I had, there's things that I want the character to do, but it's almost more interesting to figure out how the interplay is going to work. So come back to me.
Yeah, you can absolutely use your aspirations as a way to like throw narrative roadblocks in your own way, because those are fun to overcome. You look like angry that I said that, Pesta.
Such a self-destructive thing to say, I feel like. Roadblocks are fun.
And speaking of roadblocks, did you have any thoughts on your aspirations?
I think I have one short one in mind, and that is to like step in a fight, like a fight that might be brewing, like step in between two people. Like I'm here to defend the person that I'm with, type of thing.
Okay. Excellent. That's a beautiful short-term aspiration. Go ahead and make a mark of that on your sheet.
Oh, I forgot we have character sheets.
We do. Chaz, any thoughts on aspirations, short-term, long-term?
I think I got my two short terms. So I want to make someone laugh. I feel that's like on par with what whoever I'm creating would want to do. And then I want to experience or be part in justifying some sort of destruction of a thing. I'm pretty sure we're going to destroy something, break something. I'm also pretty sure this group is going to be like, it's fine. It was already broken. Let's just keep moving.
And you want to be involved in that.
I want to be like in there when that's happening. I don't want to be like, out in the rough. They come back like, no, wait.
Right. You want to be directly involved in the destruction of something that you later justify, no matter how shakily you justify it.
Yeah. Even if it's like, yes, we pushed the car over, but like gravity really did the thing.
That's fine. I feel like the making someone laugh thing is almost a cheat in here, but I'm going to let you do it once, ever.
Yeah, just one.
Here's your one, because okay. I will crack the fuck up. Like 2 minutes in the game, I guarantee you. Excellent. Any further thought? Did that spark any shorts or longs for you, Pesto?
Yeah, I think another short, I would like to resist the temptation of something immoral. I think, like, by definition of what my character thinks is immoral.
Sure.
And then long term, I think she'd like to try and develop some sort of plan for the tent village to create it, like help it to thrive as its own society, rather than just the shambles that it's in currently right now.
Okay, awesome. Those are amazing aspirations. I love it. Mark them down.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Alex, now that you've had some time to absorb.
So long term, I want to... So Valentine wants to expand his network of influence to Fulgur Tech.
Okay. Like you want to get
term.
Like you want to get inside of Fulgur Tech, or just be able to
somehow. I want to expand. Yeah, somehow get something somewhere up in there. Short term, I want to recruit an altruist to my cause.
Okay.
Doesn't matter which cause. Right. It can either be on the philanthropy side or the other side. It's got to, I need an altruist to do some work for me, either to help people or to help me help people. Excellent. And I'm working on the third one.
Excellent. And did a long-term emerge for you, Chaz?
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to go back to my orphanage and just start to build that up, because toxic positivity is great, but at some point I have to like help them out. And I assume they're still there. So I want to like come up with some kind of plan to either like get funds that way or feed or like some kind of like major helping of this orphanage.
Beautiful. Sounds great. And I love it. All right.
I have a short term.
Okay. What do you got?
Oh, no.
I want to arrange for a tank to die and let a healer take the blame.
I will help you in any way I can with that.
Oh, perfect.
I'm going to change my healing idea.
I didn't know you were going to be a healer. I'm sorry. Not sorry. I'm sorry.
All right.
Maybe you're not the only healer. Who knows how big groups are, right?
Glorious.
Muse instead.
A lot of healers in a 40-man. You never really know.
Glorious. So we have our aspirations. Excellent. That brings us to our third step, which is our paths. So as you are familiar with, you'll have an origin path, a role path, and then you'll have your allegiance path. Origin paths we can draw from the ones that are in Trinity Continuum core, right here. And let me just triple check to see if there are any new paths that I might have missed in the text. But while I'm looking for that, did you know what you wanted to go with origin path-wise? Let's start with Chaz this time, because I think I picked on Pesto first last time.
I'm pretty sure in the core there is actually like an orphan origin.
Let's see. In core, we've got the let me just grab the list here. You've got Street Rat, which
Street
is
Rat will do.
kind of close to it. Yeah. All right, Street Rat it is. And so, just for our edification, that will give you your skills will be athletics, enigmas, larceny, and survival. And your edges are adrenaline spike, alternate identity, always prepared, danger sense, hair trigger reflexes, hardy, misfix-it, and tough cookie. And that's on page 42 of the core book.
Gotcha.
Have you given any thought to your origin path, Pesto?
Survivalist?
Love it. Love it. That makes
Sweet.
a lot of sense. Given the givens, sounds solid. So your skills there will be aim, close combat, medicine, and survival.
Okay.
And you also have the always prepared, animal ken, covert, direction sense, hardy, iron will, keen sense, and swift edges, and those are located on page 43 of the core book.
Sweet.
Alex, any thoughts on your origin?
I mean, this character basically writes himself. So I'm taking life of privilege.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely.
Go ahead and read him off. It's a good time. I want to hear him.
Your skills are command, culture, integrity, and persuasion. Your edges are fame, patron, skilled liar, and wealth.
Love it. Love it. Just check the box. We're good.
Beautiful. And there are, like I said, I'm just looking through to see if there are any new role paths that are introduced in here. I'm not seeing any at the moment, but I am going to continue digging through. Let's come back to roles. Let's look at allegiances. There are a couple of new allegiances that are introduced in Anima. You have the Aeon Covenant, which is the current iteration of the entity formerly known as the Aeon Society. Without getting too deep into things, when the fecal matter hit the rotary oscillator in the Aberrant War, Aeon had to do a little bit of restructuring. And despite that restructuring, however, they have retained their core mission statement, which is to, find people who are exceptional, bring them together for the protection, betterment, and uplifting of all of humankind. At the end of the day, that's really what the Aeon Covenant's about. Particularly in Cascade, Project Neptune operates some shelters in Cascade, so that's something that maybe to consider. There are some that specifically serve women and children. There are some specifically targeted towards homeless LGBTQ plus teens, and they handle some medical care. So if you're looking at that as something that you'd like to look at in the physical realm, that might be something to consider. Next up on the list is the Ghost Wolves. The Ghost Wolves are sort of a loose association of hacker anarchists who seek to make the haves sort of pay for what the have-nots don't have. They seek to equalize society a bit. They seek to unearth the secrets that may have contributed to the Aberrant War and also that contribute to inequality right now. And as you may imagine, they have some issues with the FSA in general, with Cascade in specific. Wow, I turned 5. Sorry. Yeah, and are very active in sort of trying to get to the truth of what is happening in this grand experiment of... Makes sense? All right. Okay. Any questions about either one of those two allegiances as of yet? Rock and roll. Next up, we have Optech Cyber Products. They are a company that is basically the leading producer of like glass apps. They also work in cybernetic replacements and prosthetics, things along those lines, both in generating and in installing the technology. They are run by CEO Marissa Cassell, who formed the company fairly late in life. She's a multiple doctorate holder, sort of a late life success story, but has always sort of flown under the radar of the media. And they have a number of different areas of expertise. You've got your research and development, finance and sales, PR, operations and resources, manufacturing, security. And they have their core office in Cascade. And next up, there's a couple of other what are called lesser allegiances. You've got IX Security, which is the latest iteration of the investigative and security firm that got its humble beginnings as Branch 9 back in the early 1900s and subsequently became the Directive during the Aberrant era. They've now become fully privatized and are a security firm known as IX Security. They have a number of contracts across Cascade. And handle most of the actual security of the city itself. So think for those of you who have gamed with for more than 2 decades, they've got a Lone Star vibe.
Yeah, right.
There is Project Proteus, which is the shadowy Black Ops arm of the Aeon Covenant.
But they're not. But
They're
they
not.
are, but they're not.
Not
I mean,
what?
but they are, but they, I mean,
Who?
they are, but they're not.
What are
Right?
we talking about?
Exactly.
I didn't say anything. And then there's the Transcendent Alliance. And the Transcendent Alliance is a group dating back to the end of World War II of people who basically work toward transcending the limits of humanity without the pesky concerns about things like morality. That's kind of their whole vibe. Achieving transhuman experience by whatever means the science points to. That's the short version of it. So out of that list of potential allegiances, did any of those leap out at any of you?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do tell, Alex.
Hope, sacrifice, and unity.
Oh my God! Of course you're going to be part of the. All right, go for it. Knock yourself out. You can be Aeon Covenant.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm shocked and amazed, except that I'm not. Pesto, what do you got?
Oh dear gosh. Cascade was one of them that you talked about, right?
No, are you talking about like just the citizens in Cascade?
Or the Aeon Covenant Cascade. That's the one that kind of popped out at me. If that's
Yeah. If you wanted to do Aeon Covenant as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
that just seems weird to be on the same.
What are you trying to say?
Everybody in the whole group was like, "Well, I wanted to be Aeon Covenant, but Alex's monster is there, so."
I'm not a monster.
You're a philanthropist.
I'm
Sorry.
a philanthropist. Yes, it's a charitable organization. I'm out to help people.
Just like to remind you that prior to his cardiac condition, Tony Stark was a philanthropist too. Obadiah Stane was a philanthropist. Just saying. So
Keep going. Where do I put this? Where does this go?
that's under your allegiance. How about you, Chaz? Any thoughts?
Which one was the one that helped children out?
Oh, so that would be
Yeah.
Aeon Covenant specifically, but Project Neptune is the one.
Yeah, let's do Project Neptune.
Okay. Dope. All right, so you are all members of the Aeon Covenant. That makes things interesting and easy at the same time. So that will give you each, for your skills, you will have Enigmas, Humanities, Integrity, and Survival. For your edges, you have Always Prepared, Big-Hearted, Covenant Bond, Far-Reaching Influence, and Superior Trait. Your cyberware edges are Glass Installation and Universal Translator.
What was after far-reaching influence? I'm sorry. Was it exceptional something?
Superior Trait.
Oh, far-reaching. I thought you said bar-reaching.
Far-reaching. No.
You
Like,
said cyber
we all-
installation.
Like you all go get crunk.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will by the end of this. And then your cyberware edges were Glass Installation and Universal Translator. And your gift sets are Skill, Enigmas, Integrity, and Survival. And all of that information is on page 5, I do believe, of chapter 4 of the documents I sent you. where you can also find all the details of your allegiance. Any questions? Everybody get that? Able to find what we needed for those? Beautiful.
I think so. I don't quite remember what to do with the skills and edges that it lists, so I've just kind of been making a note of them.
You should have a note of what they are, and we'll go through and we'll once everything's picked, we'll go through and we'll do our spending.
Okay.
So,
And I don't see any place for allegiance on the character sheet unless I'm missing it.
your allegiance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it under concept, but
I mean, that's fine, but I would imagine there's a spot for allegiance on it. That is not an anima sheet that you have, though, so there might be a couple things that are a little funky, but I think
Sure,
allegiance is
that's
on there.
you calling me a liar?
Oh no, it started.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
I'm a skilled liar. Okay,
Tuning your
there's a
literacy.
big difference. Skilled liar.
Nice. Love it. And I'm just double checking the documents here to see if there is a place I might have missed that has some new paths.
The plan was basically to take my aberrant character and turn him inside out. That's what
Nice. I love it. Yeah, so it looks like we don't have any new paths in terms of role. So going back to Trinity Continuum Core, did any of you have roles in mind? Let's start with Pesto this time.
Oh no, don't do that. I'm looking for the page.
43.
Yeah, 43, 44.
43, 44. What? A path for paths?
Yeah, for your
Oh,
in the core book for your role path.
those are numbers.
Yes.
Great skills. Oh, roll paths. Okay. I got you. But I don't got you quite yet. Oh, I know exactly what Alex is going to choose.
Do you? Do you? I don't know if you do.
I probably don't. No, I don't. I take that back. Ooh, all these are so much fun.
Aren't they though?
Yeah. I want to go on. Okay. Let's see. Excuse me while I read this. Sorry.
No, you're all good.
I think I might go with medical practitioner.
So you are going to be a healer in real life. Okay, that's totally. So tell me about that aspiration, Alex.
Give me 15 minutes. We're gonna knock that bad boy right out. Hopefully, Gilbert's a tank.
I don't want to choose it after that, but I'm like, this is totally what this character would be all about. So
I love it. So just for everyone's edification, the medical practitioner is on page 43 to 44. Your skills are empathy, medicine, science, and survival. And your edges are always prepared, ambidextrous, big-hearted, iron will, keen sense, library, and wealth. So, roll path. Chaz, what you got?
Let's do charismatic leader. So I want to spread the toxic positivity as far as I can reach it.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So your skills are going to be command, empathy, humanities, and persuasion. And your edges will be fame, iron will, skilled liar, striking, and wealth. And that is on page 43 of the core book. And then Alex, what did you decide on?
First, I want to know what Pesto thought I was going to pick.
I thought you were going to pick the charismatic.
I am taking
Leader.
the sneak.
Ooh.
Oh,
Absolutely the sneak.
Allow it, as Judge Mills Lane would say. Beautiful. That makes your skills athletics, enigmas, larceny, and technology. And your edges are adrenaline spike, alternate identity, makes sense. Covert, also makes sense. Free running, photographic memory, and skilled liar. So, now that we've got those together, your paths, I gave you lists of skills and edges and things along those lines. So each path gives you the 4 skills. Of those 4 skills,
Oh, is
you
Allegiance
have-
just Society Path? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Oh. That makes sense.
I didn't have the sheet open, so I couldn't see what.
Everything makes more sense now.
It's the things you don't think about not knowing when you're designing.
Now I can change concept back to bastard. Bastard.
Clip that. Yes, with your paths, you get 3 dots to spend among the skills that you have in that path, and 2 dots to spend among the edges that you have in that path.
Gotcha.
Say one more time. I'm sorry.
3 dots among the skills, 2 dots among the edges. Make sense?
So should I be keeping track of like which
Which path those belong to? Yes.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's why I gave you page numbers too, though.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And if they double up, right? So, like, let's say you have empathy from 2 different paths, you can spend those skill points from both of those.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
So for example, from Life of Privilege, I get 3 skills and 2 edges, and it would have to be from that path, right? And
yes.
then we're just going to go down the line. Okay. Okay.
Correct. Correct. And then you get some points to spend wherever you like,
Sure.
but
Is there like a max investment at character creation or something like that?
you can't take anything above 5. If you got the points, you can get it.
Okay.
So, unless you have the superior trait edge, but that I believe only applies to attributes.
Maybe I do. Actually, I'm pretty sure I do, but I think it's from roll. Is that from? I don't remember which path that's from.
Which
And
one?
Covenant. That's from Society Path, I think. The exceptional trait thing, right?
Yes, that is. And I believe that would be the only. I think that costs 2 points. You'd have to check in the core book. Where's
Sure. Okay. So it's just 3 and 2 for now, right? And then
Yes.
Okay. that was easy.
Any questions? Did everyone spend their points already?
I did.
Sweet. All right. And I just need to check one thing here because were any of you going to spend anything on those allegiance edges that are new? Any of your allegiance edge points on the new edges, or are those all stuff you're buying from the core book?
So I think the cyborg installation, because to get jailbroken glass, you need to spend like 2 points on it, right?
Yes. Now you will have a total of 6 points of additional. No, you will have a total of. Just double check so I'm not talking out of my tailpipe here. Six points of additional skills, and you will get 4 points of additional edges, I do believe. Once you've spent your base. Make sense?
Sort of. I think you're good. But the question was, are we going to spend anything on the new path stuff?
Right. Yeah, well, I wanted to see if you'd spent any of your base on the new path stuff.
Well, the base is all, so the origin path is all from
Right.
Facebook.
The only ones that you would have a new access to is through the An Covenant.
Okay. So for
So
roll
the
path,
glass-
is it the same thing then? We just
For
is it
each
3 and
path,
2?
it's 2. Yep.
Okay.
That is accurate. How are you doing on your skills and edges, Pesto?
Oh, it's grand. I didn't realize that I accidentally clicked reload my page, so my character sheet just went completely blank.
Oh my goodness. Don't do
I mean,
that
I
in your
made notes.
browser. Don't do that in your browser.
It's the only thing I got working. I do have notes on everything though, I think. So at least
Good.
like I'm just trying to put stuff back.
Well, while you're fixing your little calamity over there, is there anything I can do to be of service? Okay. Wow, you got so flustered you turned into Beaker from the Muppets. I'm If Gilbert doesn't play a tank, he should play Beaker. All right. So
Right.
how about
Just so you know, I'm sending a message right now saying he should be a beaker tank.
Oh, all right, chums, I'm back. Okay, so
Oh, that one hurts. Oh.
Chaz, did you have any issues, questions, skills, edges? Did you spend your points, your path points? You spent all the path points? All right.
Well, path points, yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, you'll get 6 skill points to spend wherever you like, and you get 4 edge dots to spend wherever. Those new edges, by the way, are in the Chapter 3 document that I sent you, starting on page 6. Couple things to look at there. Couple things that you do want to be aware of and you might want to consider with those extra points you have is looking at your glass installation for sure. and looking at the citizenship edges, which are on page 12 of that document.
Okay, and you said after we spend the path stuff, we get how many points? It's 6 in skills and what?
4 in edges.
Okay.
Coolsies.
And just to remind you to mind the prerequisites, in the event that you want the first class citizen edge, you have to also have the wealth edge it.
So what are okay, so we can take enhanced edges if we meet the requirements, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Cool.
And,
We's loaded.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh my god, I didn't realize how dumb it was. So dumb.
Yeah, you sure you want that? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I accidentally got a dot of fame. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't buy any of that. All right, cool.
Okay.
See, and all the things that a government would be caring about, like, they're not going to care about me. I'm not sponsoring terrorists or becoming a murderous vigilante or funding a coup. I'm just exploiting sick people. It's basically big pharma. I mean, it's...
Right. Congratulations, you've drawn up Pharma Bro.
No.
You can go buy a Wu-Tang album? Is that your next?
Damn. Damn. No, I'm an actual philanthropist.
Oh, right.
I actually treat them first.
How's the reconstruction going, Pesto?
Oh, it's going awfully, but thank you for asking.
No problem.
I think I'm getting there. I'm just a little bit way behind when it comes to like spending on these points. I'm still on like the 3 dots among skills and 2 dots among edges. And then what after that it's 6 dots for skills and then 4 dots for edges.
Yep.
Oh, that's note taking.
See, you got it. You got this covered.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. So if aside from Pesto, who knows what she's spending, has their stuff together, any new edges that you took, Chaz?
Yeah, I took the glass installation. That sounds fun. And then I got Universal Translator because why should only one person be able to understand the toxicity?
Right.
Positivity when everyone.
Right.
I'm glad you took it. I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
You couldn't afford it because you wanted to be loaded.
Yeah. pretty much.
Both are excellent edges. Those are nice to have.
But quick question.
Yes.
With the glass installation, you can take 1 or 2 dots.
Yes.
2 is the jailbroken version.
Yeah, 2 dots, you have a job. So if you have the 1 dot version, anytime that you do something illegal with glass, you have a complication. And if you don't resolve that complication, you might get...
Yeah, we're sticking with 2.
Okay. Cool. All right. Since all the edge points are spent and whatnot, we can go now into your attributes.
So here's a weird question.
Please.
So first class citizen costs 3.
Yes.
So I'm not a first class citizen. but I'm a multi-billionaire.
Well, that's because you chose to spend your points that way.
No, I'm just curious how that works. So Cascade just doesn't necessarily like me, is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. You
Okay.
just don't have the benefits of citizenship.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. That's cool.
I mean,
I did take far-reaching influence, though.
Just so that you're aware, the benefits of citizenship include not being able to be executed for any reason by the security force at any time.
Just got to pay him off then. It's fine.
Yeah, just things like that. Little things like that.
Sure. Okay. We'll work on that. Maybe I'll make that a long-term. I'll make that a long-term aspiration. Get my citizenship.
I mean, I would assume if you have the scratch, you can probably make a way to make that work. Here's the thing to consider. If you get the first class citizen edge, you do get the 2-dot glass installation edge for free.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang.
Well, there we go. All right.
That's the way you might. Now, first class is 3 dots, so you're still eating a dot.
I gotta drop something down by 1, which is fine.
Right. And it makes more sense. I mean, you can be it would be hilarious to me, like, hey, you jaywalked and I don't like the way you look. Bow! Bow! Not quite. It's not quite that violent in Cascade usually.
Well, you can buy edges later, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna save. So Skilled Liar is gonna take a back seat for now.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take what are we, first class citizen?
Yes.
And then that gives me glass, right? So
yes. That gives you the glass installation at 2 dots.
I think that makes more sense for the character anyway. So
Sure.
all right. Cool. Problem solved. Mechanical malfunction resolved. We're good.
That also does grant you a +1 enhancement on all social roles with Cascade citizens. Because you're recognized as a...
Nice. I did take far-reaching influence.
Okay. And that's is that
an
variable?
Eon thing. No, it's only, I think it's 2. Where is it?
Scrolling through to it right now. There we go. It's 7 to 8 of the doc.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, whenever you engage in an entry action, you can spend a single point of momentum to shift the attitude of the target of the character toward positive by 1. Okay, yeah. It's handy. And you flash your Aeon cred.
Well, I figured if I was going to try to be doing any like eventual black market stuff, what have you, like
Sure.
it'd be good to, because there's that whole like outside of Cascade Johnny Mnemonic dystopia, right, where everybody just kind of lives on the fringes and
Right.
isn't really, yeah.
Excellent. Did you have a question, Pesto?
I think I did, oddly enough. So for each skill that is listed, and I know we've done this many a time, but I always forget it.
We've done this twice.
That is many times to me. That's tradition, according to me now. For every skill that's listed, do we already get a dot in that, and all these other things are just
Nope.
like additional? Okay, no, good.
No,
I did do that right.
You start with no automatic dots in your skills. Your attributes you do start
Perfect.
with the dot, the 1 dot that's marked on your sheet.
Okay, perfect. Then I think I'm ready to go to my edges. Sweet. How many edges do we choose? Or we just like the list of edges is what we get?
You have 2 points to spend between the edges that are listed in your in each of your paths.
Okay.
And then you have an additional 4 points you can put wherever you want.
Sweet.
So you can buff those path edges with those 4 points, or you can buy different edges. You can also, if you have multiple paths that all point to the same edge, you can stack those points that way.
Oh, that's
So
a
if you
good
have
idea.
if you have 2 paths that are wealth, for example, you could start with wealth 4
Okay,
without having to tap into your 3 points.
gotcha. Cool. And what'd you say about like the new edges? Like I would like to grab Universal Translator, for instance.
Yeah, so those are just included. Those are in the document that I sent you, the Chapter 3 document that I sent you.
Okay.
And they're all listed there. If they're already part of one of your paths, they count as a path edge. If they're not, they don't.
Okay, cool.
Are you looking at acquiring citizenship or no?
No. No.
Excellent. I love it. So whilst we're looking at that, is everybody ready to at least move in the direction of attributes?
I think I'm ready.
I'm going to nod my head
My body
so
is
that you
ready.
can hear that.
Beautiful. So you have your approaches, which are the ones that go horizontal, and your arenas, which are the groups vertically. You will rank the 3 different arenas in the order of which you're most adept. So if it's your physicals, your social or your mental. And then you have 6 dots that you can distribute in the highest arena, 4 in the middle arena, and 2 in the lowest arena.
642. Arenas are vertical, you said?
That's correct.
Okay.
And then once you have assigned those, your horizontal are the approaches. So your force, finesse, and resilience. You'll choose which of those you favor. When you select your favorite approach, you get 1 additional dot in each of the attributes of the favorite approach. If that would take one of the attributes above a 5, then you may use that other attribute in the same arena. You can move it.
Is cap out at 6?
5.
Okay.
Unless you have superior trait. Any questions on that issue, Chaz?
Nope. Think we're good.
Excellent. Pesto?
I think we're good.
All right, rock and roll. Next, we get to apply your template. So the characters in Anima are assumed to be talents, just as you would be playing in Trinity Continuum Core. So you gain all the benefits of the talent template.
What the hell is that?
Oh, that's right. You met Storypath with Aberrant.
Yeah, we did.
Much like the Nova template, the talent template gives you a different access to a different group of abilities. Unlike Novas, who have this blatant use of quantum energies, or Scions, who tap into the subquantum universe deliberately, talents rely on inspiration to affect the outcome of things inadvertently, subconsciously, if you will. There is no known means for detecting a talent. They just happen to be good at stuff. However, you do, like an Aberrant, or like a Nova would, you have a moment of inspiration. That's the first thing you probably want to think about as you're applying your talent template. What moment brought everything into focus for you? What moment was a traumatic or a euphoric, a moment of eureka. What was it that brought you to this extra little bit of luck? At what point did reality just kind of shift just a little bit in your favor? What big thing triggered that? There are a number of suggested moments of inspiration in the Trinity Continuum core book, and you will find those. Let us see here. On page 156 of the core book. Some examples would be a chance birth. You just happen to be awesome. Exposure to flux. Any sort of exposure to energies beyond the normal. The aberrant war just went off. There's all sorts of exposure to flux happening. Quantum is considered flux. Psi is considered flux. So it could be like a couple of aberrants got into a scrap by me. You know, like I was somewhere near the Midwest when Wyckoff exploded. You know, anything like that. Life-threatening accidents, personal failures, saving another's life, a social challenge, a sudden realization, a tragic loss, or violence. When in doubt, violence always works. It is, again, we're hot on the heels of the Aberrant War, so there's been plenty of that lately. Any thoughts on that moment of inspiration? I saw you sort of react, Alex.
So the character is still kind of coming together. And so initially I decided that the way that he got his wealth was via inheritance.
Sure.
And I've now decided, just kind of based on his attribute spread and his skill set, that it was not by chance that his familicide was intentional. He didn't kill them. He just arranged for them to be gone.
So you're playing Lex Luthor.
I think so. I think so.
But like Smallville season 4 Lex, right? Like you're still on the like.
Yeah. Well, so maybe his family were basically scumbags, and he had an opportunity to, work with some novas and say, "Hey, I can make the world a better place if these people weren't in my way." And they were like, "Cool." And then they took them. Whether it be voluntarily or forcibly.
I'm 100% for it. I think it's fine. I expect monologues. Continue.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, is familicide an option? Can I just put that in the box?
It would be tragic loss. I mean, sort of.
Tragic gain.
Yeah, you lost someone very close to you. The loss was devastating. The only thing that kept you from breaking was your inspiration. I mean, it could be that, in fact...
I mean, they probably were monsters, to be fair.
We can spin that around, though, right? Like, I mean, first of all, filing away all of the, laughter about this, nobody is going to, no matter how monstrous their parents are, commit parenticide and not be like a little hurt by that.
Sure. No, that's fair. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's traumatic.
Sure. But he didn't want him dead. Like, that wasn't the plan.
So, okay,
but they don't have need of their earthly possessions because they're not here anymore.
Right. Even better. Now, are you saying that in the sense of you're making a justification? Because you should save that until later so that we can get that.
Oh no, I'm just saying that's I'm speaking factually. They are elsewhere and not dead because like the Novas ran off to another galaxy, right? Like they went off to.
I mean, they went all over the place. Yeah, sure.
Right. So who knows?
So he didn't arrange for their death. He arranged.
No. That's why I said familicide. Like they're not dead. But they have no need for their earthly possessions because they're not on Earth anymore.
I literally assumed you just had them killed.
I mean, they may as well be dead. They're dead to me.
What if
What if? Talk.
what if
Go on.
you arranged for them to be taken,
That's what I'm saying.
but that didn't go the way it was supposed to?
Well, why not? Because it never does it?
Because sometimes life doesn't go smooth. And every good villain needs a backstory.
I'm not a villain. I'm a literal bastard. Okay, my parents are gone. All right, fine. How'd it go, Travis? Why don't you tell me?
Perhaps they were loading onto a jump ship that one of the aberrants had designed, and either another aberrant or perhaps if there's somebody you'd like to have a particular mat on at in this setting, bombed that jump ship and they didn't make it off planet.
That's horrible.
I know, it's terrible. You brought it up.
Yeah.
All right, well, tragic loss it is. Tragic loss, parentheses, definitely not from Illa's side.
And that gives you an extra dot in any one of your mental attributes.
Well, that's good.
Excellent. And how about you, Chaz? Any ideas on your moment of inspiration?
Thinking some kind of social challenge. If we're like young orphans in this place that definitely doesn't want us there and only got us here for the publicity or whatever,
Sure.
That at some point we would have done something that messed up a social grace, and I just said something positive, and the people left not because what I said mattered, but they just didn't want to mess with urchins. But in my mind,
Sure.
positivity just saved all of us, and so now positivity is the only thing that we do.
I love it. Not only do I love it, but like I love the hard gear shift that is between what we just discussed. So that will give you.
I need a Clark. I'm telling you.
Yes, I not only do I expect a monologue, but I expect a monologue that is immediately followed by by Chaz being like, "Yeah, and."
What's your point?
Or Lex. That gives you any social attribute you may have one dot in. Any thoughts, Pesto, on your moment of inspiration?
I think I'm leaning towards saving someone else's life. Just
I love it.
a thing that kind of happened, and I'm like, oh, hey, this is cool.
So kind.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Beautiful. That gives you an extra dot in your composure.
Sweet.
Okay. So now that we've got that out of the way, you now have 3 points you may distribute into your intuitive, reflexive, and destructive aspects.
That's not fair.
How many points do we get?
3.
Okay.
Your facets, I should say. And just to break those down for you, and again, this is covered in detail in the Trinity Continuum core book on page 153. The destructive facet is about direct action and using the force approach. Okay? The character uses intention to accomplish their goal when they focus on it with single-minded purpose. All the skill and luck in the world matter very little to them as they plan to accomplish their goals regardless of setback or blunder. That's what destructive represents. Intuitive facet represents the ability to excel in areas where quick action, quick wits, and a quick tongue is helpful. Connected to the finesse approach, and it relies on luck. You skate by on things work out. It'll be okay. And the reflective facet is a measurement of your capacity for patience, careful thought, and planning. It's a measure of resilience, and it relies heavily on skill. You do this because you're good enough to do this, because you know you have the knowledge. Make sense?
So what are we putting in here now?
You have 3 points to spend between those facets.
Okay.
Now, full disclosure, how your facets are spent affects your inspiration score. Okay. So if you want to build with that, if you want to build based on, like, this is just what I think is right for my character, I recommend doing that. But if you want to have a little bit of the whole, min-max in mind, just so that you're aware, when any one of your facets reaches rank 1, rank 3, or rank 5, you gain a dot of inspiration.
Oh.
Okay.
Is inspiration good?
Inspiration is that trait right there. The big,
okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what you
All right.
spend to activate your gift or your gifts, and you also spend that for dramatic editing. You get dramatic edit.
So what do the ratings and the facets actually do? Eventually just give you inspiration? Or
Depends on your gifts. So some of those gifts you can spend to have those influence a die roll, and there are also some gifts that directly interface with your facet ratings, and apply them to certain things.
I see. Okay.
Right.
I mean, I don't see, but sure. Yeah. Gifts.
You do all have.
We haven't gotten there yet.
You do all have your core book handy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh. Yes. Okay. Whew. Thought I reloaded again.
Yeah, you should print that or take a
I
screenshot of it
should.
or something real quick.
Oh, I just did take a screenshot.
Chaz, any questions about that?
All I heard was that I could put 2 in the destructive and it still fits my character. So yeah.
Nice. Love it. You can take the Chaz out the aberrant.
Yeah.
All right. So once those are handled, then you calculate your inspiration score, and you get 4 gifts. There's exactly 1 gift that is new to Anima. I need to find it. It's called In the Zone. It is a luck gift. It's only able for ghost wolves, though, and none of you are, so don't worry about it.
Sweet.
Which does bring up another point, though, that you must keep in mind. Your gifts do not work in Terra Surge.
Right.
So just be aware of that. So as you're selecting gifts, you'll see a list of gifts that are with each of your paths. So you can choose your gifts from among those. You get a total of 4, so I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's 1 from each path and 1 from anywhere you like. Let me triple check that.
Okay.
What's your question? Maybe I can help.
So you mean narrating, luck, or aptitude? Those are the 3 types?
No, you get 4 gifts. 3 of the the keywords that are listed in your path. So you can take 1 gift from each of the keywords that are listed from each of your paths. It has to come from those keywords. Make sense? You don't get 1 from each keyword. You get 1 gift from the keywords in your path for each path, and then you get 1 gift that is any gift you want. It's just got to be one that you meet the prereqs of.
Okay. I think I got it.
Gifts begin on page 196 of the core book. And that actually brings up a very good point. We are at about the halfway mark. So do you all want to take a fiver for biological and technological needs?
I mean, sure, I'm okay. I'm still looking at the stuff. So for example, my origin
we
path.
can press on too. It's fine.
My origin path. How do I go from origin path to gift?
You will see it in the origin path. You'll see a collection of keywords. If you look at in the core book where your origin path
I'm looking.
is listed.
Yeah, I'm looking. So it's life and privilege. I see connections, skills, and edges.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. My bad. Those are actually listed.
Oh, gift keywords for origin and roll paths. Okay, page
Yep.
155.
Yep.
Got it.
Thank you. Sorry. I forgot there's a separate table for them.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ah.
All right. So I go from there, and then so if I have command and persuasion, I can go get a gift for one of those.
Correct.
And does it matter what kind of gift it is?
As long as you meet the prerequisites and it's part of your thing, you can be whatever.
Okay. So if the keyword is just attribute,
It should. Yes. Correct. Any of the attribute
just like-
gifts. But is it attribute and then parentheses strength or might, or is it just attribute?
so for example, if I'm looking at, so if I look at aptitude gifts,
yes.
and let's say I had an intellect of 3, right, and I wanted Acme of unchallenged reason.
Right.
Can I just take it if I have an intellect of 3, or do I have to?
As long as it's either listed, as long as you can either take intellect gifts as by virtue of a keyword of one of your paths, or you spend that one free gift that you can take from anywhere.
Oh, I found the app. Okay. So like command is an aptitude. So I have to like go to the command aptitude.
There's two types. There's two types of gifts. There's luck gifts and there's aptitude gifts.
Okay.
Then the luck gifts are all just luck gifts. They don't have any other keyword. They're just luck. And then they have a keyword about like their duration. The aptitude gifts are then broken down by whether they're off of a skill or off of an attribute, and specifically which one.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes. I'm with you now. So the aptitude gifts, you actually can select the keyword and look at the list.
Right.
Okay.
So, but the short answer is yes, you can take Acme of Unchallenged Reason.
I mean, I just picked one that I saw. I didn't necessarily need to.
It's nice.
I should just copy this chart. I'm just gonna snip it, so I don't have to keep going back.
Sure. Any gifts leaping out at you there, Chaz?
Not yet, but I'm still looking through.
How about you, Pesto?
I'm still kind of looking. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just making sure I'm touching base with everyone. And I do want to make sure, too, because Alex verbalized, but I did not get a verbal confirmation from the two of you. Are you both good with just pressing on? No break for the moment?
Oh yeah, fine either
Oh,
way.
sure.
All right, cool. If you decide you want to take a break, there's no rules here. Anarchy. We'll just let me know.
Evil overlord is a thing.
It is. It is. I'm so
Sentence
glad
1. He is a slave driver. I wrote this. You're speaking to my soul. All right. That's...
I love how like 2 minutes ago you were absolutely like crestfallen that I was comparing you to Lex Luthor.
It's like I said, the character makes themselves. Okay,
You're just a conduit.
I had the spark, Mongolian grill. Here we are. Okay, this is blame the meat. All right, don't blame the man.
Glorious. Does anybody have any questions about how the gifts function? Just for clarification, the system for the gift is generally under the gift, including whether or not it requires the expenditure of inspiration, most do, and how it affects dice rolls, what facets it draws on, things like that. By the way, this also has one of my favorite powers in the entirety of the Trinity Continuum is among the gifts, and it doesn't fit for any of your characters, but it's called Murderous Totality.
That's good.
I mean, we could make that work.
It basically
right?
turns you into Bullseye. You're like, oh, I got this paperclip. Die. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Oh boy.
Once we get those knocked out, there's a couple of little finishing touches to sort out, and then we can hop into your Anima crate. Things get super fun.
So I just want to point out that right under Evil Overlord is Love Me and Despair, which is just make people cry and get inspiration for it.
Yeah. Is that what you're going to take? Is that your roundabout way of telling me that that's something that you're going to take with your toxic positivity?
2 minutes ago, it was like a 2%. Now it's like an 87%. We'll see how it goes past that.
Nice.
We get 4 gifts.
Yes, one from each path and one from wherever you like.
Yep. Okay.
As long as you meet the prerequisites of the wherever you like.
Oh dear.
You settle on a second gift, Alex?
I think I'm gonna take Fairweather Friend.
That's you just like get a bond with somebody, right? Basically.
So Fairweather Friend says he flies into someone's life, makes fast friends, and then is gone as quickly as he came. People seem attracted to him like flies to honey, but no matter what he does, he can't seem to keep them around.
Oh,
Spend an inspiration to build a bond of friendship quickly over the course of a scene rather than requiring a dramatic milestone, but you must spend it as quickly and reap twice its usual benefits. Doing this to the same person too many times can result in them no longer wanting to associate with you. Sounded right to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Burning a couple bridges here and there, it'll be fine.
I noticed somebody mention in chat that you do have to kind of build your Meat World characters first. And I actually just wanted to let the world know I really did consider running this where like you just built your animas and then we didn't build your Meat World characters until later. Which if we weren't showing it off for the Kickstarter, I would do, and I may still do down the road because I think that'd be a fun exploration of character, right? Like you just build your anima and like I give you a character sheet.
Your meat is just irrelevant. Yeah.
You can or something like, you know, you have this like big, you know, I thought of a plot where you have this big epic quest or whatever and it's all feel good and everybody's having a grand time and whatever, and like I log off of glass and oh, I'm surrounded by dead bodies and covered in blood. And now we start doing so this is what was happening before you logged on. That would be a really cool trope that I would see no reason why you couldn't actually take that approach. I'm not doing that here because the idea here is to welcome everyone to the world and show them kind of like what the basics of anima are. But I might do a Storypath Showcase later where we do that. Just have everybody that's in the raid party be in extremely different but extremely dire circumstances. I think that could be a lot of fun. So there's my gift to you when you all go back to Kickstarter and get your early access to the manuscript of what you should do with it. And I do want to also just take the opportunity to remind everyone that you can go right now to the Kickstarter page for Anima and follow it, so that way you'll get a notification when it goes live and you can back Kickstarter right away. I just threw that link in the chat. Then you kill everyone and go, surprise, we're actually playing Wraith. Only if it's 20th anniversary edition. Yeah, but it would be a lot of. I think it'd be a fun way. There's a lot of cool interplay between the idea that there's this MMO. You could just off the top of my head, while I'm waxing philosophical while everybody's looking at their gifts. You could do a thing where you've got a group of people that have this strong bond in the MMO world. Maybe even like a couple characters you're married, or maybe they're a polycule in the world of Terra Surge. And in the really real world, they all work in the same office building, hate one another, and aren't aware of it. Like, that would be very fun, you know what I mean? Like that could be a fun, like, drama to play with, you know what I mean? There's a lot of... You might not know who these people are, outside of the MMO. Or you might forge a bond with somebody while you're in Terra Surge, only to find out weeks later that there's somebody you've hated since you've known them. Lots of fun play available there. And I wouldn't be spewing all these ideas if they had anything to do with what I was planning. Not that I'm planning a whole lot, because if you've watched, I know this is a different night than we normally run on, but if you've watched any of the Storypath Showcase stuff, we usually build all that stuff kind of together. Once these characters are done, we'll have our safety tools talk, and then kind of like a general, what do we want to see from the campaign? Though I already have some ideas of what we're going to be aiming for, thanks to not needing to create a villain for this campaign.
All right, look. I will not be typecast. Okay? Tragedy struck. Okay? Making the most out of a bad situation that I probably engineered.
Right.
But they were monsters, okay? Not saying they deserve to die. Big oops.
I don't know, they did sure look like plant food to me. So did you have your gifts sorted out?
I did, yes.
What you got?
So I have Fairweather Friend, Evil Overlord, Contain the Calamity, and the In and In.
Okay, nice. All of those are very, very good. And just a reminder, those do not function while you're in Terra Surge.
Right, I know.
Okay. Chaz, you got your gifts sorted?
So I got True Friendship, Savage Beast, Love Me and Despair, and I'm thinking Love and Loss.
Nice. That's one that lets you like burn.
Yeah, once a session, when your character spends a bond of friendship or love, she gains the effect as if she'd spent it, but the bond itself does not go away.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, no, that sounds perfectly. I think your anima should have like a little circle. Whatever you play should have a little circle on its stomach with like a heart out of rainbows in it.
Just like right there, yeah.
The Chaz Bear stare of total annihilation. He ain't firing black holes anymore. These are rainbows. Smash you with happy. Feel
Or
this,
that-
feel this love.
And then Pesto, did you have any? How are the gifts coming along, or did you have any questions?
I think they're coming along okay. I think I was thinking about X marks the spot and destined for damage so far. Does that make sense? Or is that weird?
What was the last one? Sorry.
Destined for damage.
Oh no, that's cool. I like it. You want to describe to the class what Destined for Damage does?
Where did I find it? Oh dear. Basically, I think. Oh, when the character is in the same range band as an ally, she may spend an inspiration to take an injury condition in place of that ally,
Oh
Right.
God.
Yep.
or like take the blame for.
So Pesto has found a way to injure herself. Things are in line. Everything is coming together.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Great. So so that leaves you with one gift left, or did you get all four of them?
I was thinking Doctor of Destruction.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
And y'all made me real glad I took Contain the Calamity.
Wonderful. Okay, so you got your 4 extra dots spent of your edges. You got your gifts. All your paths are all handled. Make sure that just make sure you double check that you have the extra edges that are filled in from gifts or edges that you took. So like with your first class citizen, make sure you have the glass installation recorded on your sheet. You had a question, Alex?
Yeah, inspiration. So
Yes.
I took my facets. What is our starting inspiration?
You get 1 dot of inspiration every time you get a facet at 1,
Mhm.
3, or 5, and
Okay.
you start with 1 single dot of inspiration first.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I took one dot in each facet.
So you
So
would
I
have
get-
an inspiration of 4
Okay.
because you start with the 1, and then you get 1 for the destructive 1 for the, and you won't get any
Yeah.
more inspiration until one of your facets reaches 3.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Beautiful. And then just going over this, we need to figure out your
Dramatic pause.
yes. Okay. We need to figure out your health. So what's everyone's stamina?
No, 1.
2.
And what was yours, Alex? 2?
2.
Okay. So you all have 1 maimed injury condition, 1 injured condition, and 1 bruised condition. And you all have a defense score of 1. Okay?
Sure.
Excellent. So that then brings us quite nicely to creating your tunes. Your animas. Does everybody have something set aside? I will send you like a nice sheet that you can put these on. I just didn't get a chance to build it before this stream, so I apologize. Last chance, anybody want to hop up and take 5 before we dive into creating your Terra Surge characters?
I'm good.
Actually, I'm
Alright.
gonna grab something to drink. I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
Drink.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Grab a beverage or something like that. And chat, by all means, feel free to, if you have questions in the chat, hit me. I do see one right there right now. Are you allowed to make alts at character creation? If I'm not mistaken, you actually can make alts at character creation. yeah, so you get, I don't want to get too far into the nuts and bolts, but the way you'll have to forgive me as well because I'm really just familiarizing myself with this side of the creation stuff. But the way I read this is that you get your base anima, and then you get a certain number of levels that you get to apply to leveling your anima up. So rather than building dumping all those levels into your main, you could split those up between alts. I wouldn't see a reason why you couldn't. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you get a certain number of levels. So you got that going for you. Yeah, I would say even if there's not official rules support for it, it's real easy to figure out how to do it. You know. So.
Puppy moment. Come here.
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
And you can swap alts pretty much kind of with all the amount of difficulty it normally would take to log in or log out. Okay, so you have your anima card. If you open chapter 7 of the documents that I sent you, that will give you the basics. There's a nice little sidebar right in the front there that shows you the steps real easily laid out for creating your alt. I would like to publicly point out two things. One, I did not work on Anima. Anima was well in its development cycle before I started working on any Storypath stuff. But so this is entirely, I just want to keep praise on the team responsible for this section, because it is, even in its Kickstarter ready state, hasn't gone through edits, hasn't gone through layouts, is a beautiful document of utility and conciseness and real easy to follow. So when you do back that Kickstarter, I think you'll be blown away by the section. It's very cool. So huge shout outs and kudos to the folks responsible. So yeah, as you're pulling together your anima, you basically have an anima card. That is what controls your character. Okay. On that, you will keep track of your culture, class, and guild paths. You will choose approaches, skills, and aspect dots that you get from those paths. Any bonuses are cumulative. You'll transcribe the gear that you get from those paths. And then you will level your anima.
Level your animal.
I think you were away when they were asking about alts.
Oh, what? There's all.
Oh, we were just discussing how somebody had asked in the chat if you could start with alts. And I was like, you get a certain number of levels of character creation to break
I
up.
don't have alts. I just have mules.
So, right. So just a bunch of level 0.
Just inventory space.
Just standing there. Just bags with legs.
Yep.
All right. So the first step is to select your culture, class, and guild paths. Those will be found at the bottom of page 4 of the document. Each culture path is going to give you 4 skill dots and an aspect. Okay? You probably want to make a note of that.
Looks like humans start with 5.
Don't confuse me.
Just saying.
That might be their aspect. See, and now you're jumping the shark, and now everybody's going to be confused.
No, their aspect is they get 3 extra hit points.
Shush your face hole.
You're the reason why I'm confused, Alex.
I haven't known you that long.
You have a She was like this when I found her. Then you have a culture path, which also gives you 4 skill dots and an aspect, and a class path. The class path will give you your starting approaches, 6 skill dots, 2 enhancements, and your starting aspect. Then there are variations within. And then you have your guild path, which has a specific way you gain access, allows you to call the guild to help with a situation, and gives you enhancement. So let's start things off. You want to take culture, class, or guild first?
Culture.
Culture? All right, cool. The cultures that are available for animas are the... I'm going to murder some pronunciations here. Cherovian. The Cherovian culture is focused on a vibrant mission. The Seaborn are technologically advanced beyond that of other people, making them excellent crafters. Focuses on exploration, scientific thinking, and do not shirk their duties to protect the seas. Humans are humans, and yeah, they get extra stuff because humans get extra stuff in fantasy settings. I'm fairly certain that you're all aware of what a human is, so we're gonna just go skip that.
What's a human?
Is it Kundari, or a peaceful culture carved out of a harsh desert landscape. Rich traditions of crafting and trading and art, and they are, despite having a peaceful culture, they are skilled warriors from surviving their harsh desert landscape. The Quell, and I'm going to try to contain all my inner Dark Sun nerd here. The Quell are a warrior culture of insect-like people.
Definitely not Gregory. Copyright trademark.
And they make their homes in the mountains, plotting against one another, jockeying for position among themselves. The Sentients are basically a group that created their culture around discovery and acceptance. They seek to understand their own existence, but are more concerned with making themselves space than with necessarily understanding the rest of the world. And they are cautious, careful, preferring to act only when necessary. And then we have the Veer, which are a jungle-dwelling culture who live within the trees. They've devoted themselves to unlocking the secrets of nature and gaining its power. And they are deeply political. Their culture is deeply political, with every action, article of clothing, and piece of jewelry making a subtle statement without words. Those are your cultures. Do any of those leap out at you?
Thinking about sentient.
Okay. I love it. Go ahead and mark that down. How about you, Alex?
Thinking the desert dogs, the Kumdari.
Okay.
Kumdari? Kumdari?
Somebody will shout at me and tell me what it is.
Nice.
Um,
Okay, bed, go on. Off.
and Chaz, what you got?
I was also going woof woof dogs. I think
Apparently, I did not murder the names. Yay!
Noise.
Is there a writer in the chat?
There is a writer in the chat. Yeah, everybody, shout yourself out there if you don't mind. Excuse me, 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to talk.
Hello, writer in the chat.
It's I'm gonna. It's Yoden too. Is the sort of writer, but also sort of, I guess, would it be too far to say parent of Terra Surge? Would that be an accurate way of describing?
Did you birth it out of your glass hole?
I mean, that's gonna come back and bite you, just so you know.
It was right there. Okay.
And I'm sorry, Chaz. What culture did you want?
I will not do. I will not also be a wolf. I think I'll be a boring human.
Excellent. Somebody always has to be. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you jumping on that grenade. As a Kundari, you start off with your skills are crafting 1, persuasion 2, physical attack 1. Your aspect is poison dancer. We'll get into what all that means in a bit. You had said sentient, correct, Pesto?
Correct.
Sentient start with Arcana 1, crafting 1, and stealth 2. And your aspects are uninhabit and unliving flesh.
Yeah, it is.
And as a human, I don't know, your aspect is... No, I was going to
Just
being human. Your skills are athletics 1, arcana 1, block 2, and physical attack 1. You don't get a aspect, but you do get 3 extra hit points at the start of the game.
I'm already regretting this.
And now for our classes. So we have each class, and then the classes have paths associated with the class. Okay. So there's broad categories, and then your paths actually come from the sort of your subclasses, right? Kind of like you're not just a paladin; you're already blanked on what it was. Yes. So there's the boundless, which are explorers. They come with a range of proficiencies, all useful while on the road. Their curiosity serves them in tactical and scholarly pursuits, and they blend in well with travelers. You have the channelers, which channel magic from ether, which only they can detect. Their magic is chaotic and volatile. Even the user doesn't necessarily know what they're going to get before they cast. They tend to be the adventurous sort. The fearless are those who have answered the call to protect the world as champions of the harsh lands. They are fierce fighters imbued with the might to wield a weapon for glory in battle, and they travel throughout Senestia as heroes. There are mages who wield powerful magic pulled from all the planes and filtered through the spires. They can use many different kinds of magic. They're versatile, but limited to their attunement to individual spires. They tend to go for the scholarly sort of jam. Muses rely on vibrance to help them control the wild magic running through them. Their words placate those around them. They find themselves acting as mediator, politicians, and ambassadors. Those are your classes. Now, each of those, again, has a couple of subclasses within it. So there are a couple of, for example, like if you had mentioned wanting to go healer, there's the Boundless Medic.
Yeah.
Which is a trained combat medic. But you also have
Fearless Defender, potentially.
Fearless Defender and Channeler Supporter. So there's kind of a couple different ways to go into. Channeler Supporter is like a medic, is like a secondary bit, but the Channeler Supporter focuses on healing ether and empowerment ether. You create powerful buffs for your allies and provide secondary healing capability.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Okay. So your character's approaches are going to be force, finesse, and resilience all at 2. The approaches are the same as the approaches. And your skills are Arcana 2 with a +1 in healing and +1 in gathering. A crafting of 1. Magic attack of 1. And persuasion of 2. And you have a starting hit points of 4. Starting equipment of a common focus enhanced 2 and a healing potion. And you can infuse ether as your aspect.
Sweet.
Hey Chaz, if you want to Am I muted? I'm not muted, right? Okay.
No, yeah. I mean,
Chaz, if you wanted to grab the Kumduri, I think I'm going to switch. Just kind of after reading, I didn't realize. I feel like the Veer speak to me.
Jungle, like,
Well, so like, they're kind of fancy, feathered. Scholars are deeply political.
that does sound fitting.
I feel like they're kind of calling to me. So I don't know if you still want to be human, like if you were just trying to play around with it. So
Oh yeah, I'll play around with it. I will absolutely. If you move, I will move too.
I'm moving. I am off the Kumduri.
All right, switch.
all right.
I am playing a Veer.
Excellent. You have your access to your traits, correct?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Arcana 1, Magic Attack 2, Persuasion 1, and Featherlight, whatever that means.
Sweet.
As far as classes, I'm bouncing between Mage, Soul Worker.
Okay.
Says soul workers can concern themselves with other people's connection to the planes. They have learned to manipulate them to gain control over their actions to pronounce effect. Or a Muse Marshal. Feel like, Chaz, do you know what you're gonna pick yet?
Yeah, I'm thinking that. Where'd you go? Fearless Red. Where'd you go?
Okay. So it kind of doesn't matter which way I go then.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna go Mage Soul Worker because I feel like that kind of like brings it together for me.
Okay. Did you have something in mind, Chaz? Like, did you know what your one class direction was?
The Fearless Red Blade uses some like magic weapon that transforms into any weapon you need.
Well, that sounds
Correct.
exactly like every character you've ever played. Hold on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
But in this way, I'm assuming I can make a longsword that just happens to look like a heart, or a bow that happens to look like a heart. Like a theme is evolving. So
yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
Again, you get a certain amount, a rather liberal amount of control over the appearance of your anima. This is another place, where the authorities on the setting can correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that extends up to and including, like, if you wanted to rock like a certain vibe that we can't mention because of copyright, but might involve some sort of a monarchy and a heart, like style animation.
All I'm seeing is Bo and Shira. It's impossible. Like, I can't unsee Bo. Oh, it's so hard.
So like you can incorporate those kinds of themes and those kinds of things into your appearance.
perfect.
Absolutely.
There you go. It's in the chat for y'all in case you forgot what he looks like.
Glorious. So we all have our classes picked, correct?
Yeah.
Big
Excellent.
old heart on his chest.
So then we go into your guild paths. Now, this is where we start getting into a little bit of how do we want our gameplay to be approached? Do we want you all to be the members of a guild, or like we need to start looking into like how do we tie you together, right? Is this going to be the fulcrum point by which you are tied together? I know, Alex, you have a pretty straightforward plan about what you want your guild involvement to be.
Well, again, what I'm thinking is if I decide to go that route, so basically to spill the beans for everybody else, one of the mechanisms that Valentine uses to enforce his debt collecting is he runs a griefing guild, or he's basically part of a griefing guild. So he uses like online trolls and exploiters and like PvPers to basically, if someone steps out of line that hasn't quite paid their debt yet, they get basically harassed into doing it properly. Whether or not that guild is part of what I'm thinking is like, I'm happy forking his identity again and saying, okay, like I can have these are the friends I play with, right? Like this is my
Right. This is like my.
these are the friends I play with, and I can have characters in multiple guilds. Like, why not?
Sure. Right. No, that's fair.
So like I can have, my raid character and then whoever else has to do the dirty business. Because I don't want to I don't want to violate terms of service with my main. Like, you don't want to do that.
That's all that's up.
I ain't trying to get banned.
I'll allow it. All right. So
I will fall in line with whatever, because I'm basically playing like a crowd controller. So I can just kind of fall in line with whatever as far as the game is concerned, right? Terra Surge. Like I can just kind of roll with the group.
Okay.
So
let's go over kind of what the basic ideas are for guilds, right? So you have your crafting guilds, which focus on gathering materials, making rare items. So sometimes you're farming resources to help out your guildies, or give all your lower level drops to guild members, things like that. You're about collecting and distributing the resources of the world. Right? When you choose this guild path, you can choose one of the following benefits. You get a enhancement to a crafting project, gain rare materials necessary for a quest. Each time you activate call in the guild. So you can do these things. You can get enhancement on a crafting project, get rare materials, get crafted items, stacks of consumables or rare items, and you can put effort into the guild, getting access to a crafting stunt called One for the Homies, which is awesome. Basically, you spend leftover successes to make an extra item easier for a guildie. So you're like, oh, I got these extra successes I don't need. I'm just going to throw them into the guild.
I have a question for the storyteller. Okay.
I have an answer for you as a story guide.
Sorry, the story guide. My bad. Okay. No offense to any STs in the audience. Storypath guys, gals, everybody else. So what I'm thinking, right? If it were me, right, what I would probably do is like my main character would probably not have a guild tag, and the Griefing Guild would still be run by me, or at least I'd be a part of it. So like I want the Griefing Guild advantage. Like I don't want whatever advantage they take.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, your character can like
I want to be able to call them. Okay.
There's nothing saying that you can't mechanically belong to the Griefing Guild.
Yeah.
But you're running around and even possibly in game have a membership in that guild. Just you aren't going to be able to take advantage of the mechanical, for whatever reason. You're not going to be able to take advantage of those mechanical benefits. Okay?
Wait, who's the Griefing Guild or the other one?
The other guild, the secondary guild with that character. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you go one of two routes with it. If you want to do a thing where like we build you an alt, I see no reason. Nothing in these rules that say that I can't do it. And even if I did, I could ignore them.
Because if it were me, the reason I'm asking is because like if it were me and I was doing this and like let's say I'm on my main and I'm playing with my friends and some other guild steps out of line, I would hop on an alt and call in the cavalry and have them abuse the people that are pissing us off. Because like the call in so you may choose one of the following benefits: gain a +3 enhancement to create or exploit a temporary bug.
Right.
Distract the narrators for the rest of a login. Gain a guild assist with a PvP fight. Guild members assisting with a PvP fight create a +3 complication when attacking your anima. If not bought off, the other character is taken out for their following their action or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, basically I would just use them as a bludgeon.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that. The biggest mechanical limitation would be that you wouldn't be. So for example, if they said we're going to be a crafting guild, you wouldn't be able to activate that.
No, I don't want to. Go ahead. Have fun, y'all.
Right, so you're going to be in a Griefing Guild.
Yes.
I would assume
it's called Vulgar Tech.
Of course it is. Based on the characters that you've drawn up so far, I would assume that the other two are not interested in being part of a Griefing Guild.
I was
I'll be
thinking more of
honest.
exploration. Oh, what's up?
I could be very tricked easily into griefing someone. and not knowing it.
We're gonna get there. Okay, I have a short-term aspiration just for you, buddy.
Beautiful. But yeah, let's do exploration.
His alt's gonna be no heart.
So your guild is Vulgar Tech, and guild wise, we were going over them still, right? So you have the Exploration Guild, which is all about checking out the beautiful setting of Terra Surge and trying to work the entire map basically. Get into areas that haven't really been discovered and things along those lines. That can give you access to fast travel portals, gain pass keys into rare hard access locations, gain access to instances or strange quests that Anima wouldn't normally have access to. And then there's roleplay guilds, which are all about telling the story. And special interest guilds, which are tied to a real world cause. So you might be part of a guild that gets together in the meat space and knits every Thursday. Just as an example. So out of those, do you have, is there a guild that leapt out at you? I had heard you say exploration, Chaz. Is that what you would?
Oh yeah, I heard Peasant said I would look at exploration. I could do roleplay, I could do raid, but yeah, we could do exploration, just running around, finding things, meeting NPCs, and then befriending the NPCs because they need positivity in their life too. Yeah, I can see
and
that.
There's also just to clarify, there's absolutely nothing that requires you all to be in the same guild. I just thought I would ask
accidentally stumbling onto exploits.
Right.
Yeah, it was like if we just find that, that's what was put in for us to have fun.
I agree.
How about you, Pesto? You have a guild, an idea on guilds?
I was thinking exploration guild.
Okay, cool. So and again, you don't even have to necessarily be part of the same guild. Oh, there's also raid guilds. I forgot that. But,
Right, Jones.
They focus on raiding.
Been there, done that.
Okay, so as an
My character has a full-time job.
As an exploration guild, you have the option to choose fast travel, things like that. We went over that. Beautiful. So just note that down on your Anima card, and then once you have all of your things that are sort of recorded for what your traits are, you may level. So each Anima, each player starts out with level 15 Anima. You have 15 levels to you can use the way that leveling is broken down is on page 14 of the document that I gave you. There's also an auto level program written, which is a touch of brilliance, and I would again like to commend the folks that did. So if you don't want to worry about just figuring out what you would be, you can use that standard breakdown Pesto, which you will find on page 16.
So at every level, we basically can pick one of these things. So at level 2, we pick a skill.
Yeah.
What's an
So enhancement is
is that the parenthetical stuff?
Enhancement to an existing skill.
Okay. Are enhancements explained somewhere?
So your enhancement. So when you roll for a skill, when you're in Terra Surge, systematically it functions the same as Storypath, right? So when you're making your roll, you're rolling your approach. If you have the skill, if it's parenthetical in there, you have an enhancement when you're doing that thing, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. So. Oh, that's because it's not in this chapter. Okay. Uno momento, please. There we go.
I was scrolling through and my eyes brushed over the grinding paragraph and I felt like twitch back here somewhere.
Flashbacks.
Like somewhere, some of my molars were like it just.
I'm just sifting through to break down the actual like rolls.
Okay, I think I found where all the other stuff is.
Okay, so when you take an action, you use your skill plus approach, apply the appropriate enhancement using successes to overcome difficulty, path complications, so on and so forth. So when you're buying the enhancement, you're adding an enhancement to that skill rating.
Mhm.
So you can raise the skill rating. You can also buy an enhancement to that skill. Sense? Because again, like the rest of Storypath, enhancement only applies when you are when you've achieved a material success. Make sense? Did I lose you, Alex?
No, I'm looking through. So I'm trying to figure out how all of these actions and stuff work and the aspects and stuff. So I'm trying to find mage. That's what I've been. And I think I either went and buy it or.
Oh, so you're looking at like what that's going to be covered in chapter 6. You're talking about like
I got the description for Featherlight. So I know what that does now.
right. And those and you got that in chapter 6, correct?
Chapter 8.
8.
Is it an 8? Okay. Yeah, 6 is I guess more your setting.
The reason I'm trying to check is because like I don't know what any of my actions do, so I don't know what skills to put points into. So I'm like kind of
Sure, right.
Yeah.
So the
mage, here we go. Got it.
Okay, so it's after the crafting, the conditions. Yeah, it looks like they kick off around page 31 of chapter 8. So you can write those down for your own edification and whatnot.
Oh.
Yes.
These things are cool. So
Oh, that's a fun one.
I'm glad you all lucked into fun.
There you go. Seize volition. The mage grasps the threads of magic that connect to all vagrant souls and bends them to her will. It's a vagrant soul. What's a vagrant soul?
That.
Oh, give the character an action they must take on their next action. If they attempt to take an action other than that when they suffer a +1 difficulty to take the action. The dictated action must be something the character can reasonably do, such as make an attack, move, or use a special ability not on cooldown. Oh my. What
So
level do
that's
we
like
start at? 15?
15.
Okay, so I can take puppet then.
Yep. So you need to make sure you meet the prerequisites of everything you're taking as you're leveling up.
Okay.
Pesto, are you grabbing did you apply the basic level chart improvement?
I really tried. I
What are
really
these?
tried.
Do these numbers cap out at something? The skills?
No, it follows along your leveling path, I believe.
Well, so like if I'm looking at leveling path, it just says skills. Damn it, I was just looking at it. So at level 15 is the skill 5, right? So I add 5 skill points. I guess I'm saying is like, what's the cap on the skill number? So if I have magic attack 4 and I want to take it to 5, that costs 1, right? How high can it go? Or does it cap at 5?
I believe they cap at 5, but don't quote me on that because I need to sift for it.
Okay.
While I'm digging through that. So Vagrant Souls refer to people who can respawn.
What was that? Vagrant souls are people that can respawn? Is that what you said?
Yes.
So players. Or like NPCs that respawn?
I believe that means NPCs that respawn, but
Oh,
Yoden can certainly correct me.
I don't know. Vagrant souls.
Yeah, you were asking about them.
Yeah. I don't know what they are.
They're folks that can respawn.
Okay.
Oh, in theory, both PCs and NPCs.
Cool. That makes sense. I'm fine with that. I'd hate to have a non-functioning PvP ability. That would suck.
And per the text in my hot little hand, the level cap in Anima is 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. As of the latest expansion.
So does that answer what the skill
Okay.
caps are?
Okay, so yes. You can gain a new approach dot once every 10 levels, a new skill enhancement every 3 levels, and begin increasing skill enhancements to existing skills to +2 at level 30, and then to +3 at level 50. It's all covered in the leveling on page 14. Yeah, I was hunting all over the place. It's right in the leveling section.
Of which book?
Oh, chapter 7, character creation, anima creation.
Okay. So, but increasing a skill enhancement. So like, for example, my skill enhancement for magic attack is status effect +1. So what that tells me is I'll be able to take like another +2 to it. But that still doesn't tell me how high
When
I
you
can
hit
raise my
level
magic
50,
or whatever. The new approach, new skill enhancement. It says new skill enhancement every 3 levels. So at 3,
Right.
6, 9, 12.
right, a new skill enhancement. Then you can increase the skill enhancement to a +2
Oh, okay.
at level 30. You have to take a different enhancement effectively.
Got you.
You follow what I'm saying? You can't stack those enhancements until you hit level 30.
So which will prompt players to choose a specific trait to increase. This rotates between gaining an aspect or buff. So for the 5 skill points that I have at level 15,
Yes, those would need to be distributed. Those are skill points, so you can
Right.
spend those in skills. But then you have skill enhancements
right?
because the skill list is up on page
Right. So like
2.
my magic attack, so my magic attack 4, how high can I take it? 2.5, 2.6, 2.10?
They're rated from 0 to 5.
Okay. That was the big question.
It's on page 2 of character creation. It's under the skills.
Then I have no further questions.
So skills go from 1 to 3, or skills go from 1 to 5, from 0 to 5. Enhancements go from 1 to 3. You can't take your enhancements to a 2 until you reach 30, and to a 3 until you reach 50.
And the enhancements themselves for skills are where?
Directly after, it's on page 3 of the anima creation.
Okay.
Yes, Yoden. As Sean Connery once said, I wrote them down so I wouldn't have to remember.
So just to make sure I'm doing this right, if I look at shit. Okay. Hold on. I almost got this figured out.
It's 33.33333 repeating, of course.
If I get 5 enhancements, right? So what I can do is I can take my magic attack, which has status effect +1, and I can take like area of effect, for example.
Yeah, anything that's listed under magic attack.
Right.
So any of those categories are all the enhancements are preordained. You can just choose which one of those you're buying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because you're not level 30 yet, you have more enhancement. You wouldn't be able to put all your enhancements into magic attack because there's only 3.
Wait, or does that mean I can only take status effect? But so does that mean I can't take area of effect +1, or does that mean I can't take status effect +2?
Right. It means you can't take status effect +2. So you can have each of those at +1, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
I am with you, man. We are here.
Are you following along with all this, Pesto?
Oh, goodness, no.
As we're shooting back and forth. Are you following along with all this, Chaz? I'll slow down. So
I think so, yeah.
as you go into the skills are on page 2, the enhancements are on page 3. It's a truncated skill list, truncated list of enhancements. Each skill only has 3 enhancements you can take. Okay. So if you have a +1 enhancement already from, like, for example, by virtue of your people, your culture, I should say, you can't spend any of your enhancement there because you already have the +1. Once you hit level 30, it unlocks the +2. But you can spend your skill dots there up to 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then anywhere where it's talking about buying your new aspects, those are all covered in chapter, was it 8? Where the aspects are?
Yeah.
Yep.
This would be a lot easier if it was a real book. This part would be a lot easier.
This part would be a lot easier if it was, a physical or
That's
like
good though. It's
one
still really
document.
well organized. But
Yeah, no, it all makes a ton of sense. It's just finding it.
okay.
And again, I apologize that I'm not more familiar with it. I literally got the text.
How
last
dare?
week. I know, right? But I have never been known to throw myself off a cliff and build a plane on the way down.
So here's a question: What
Yes.
what are aspect points for?
What are aspect points for?
Yeah, so it says I get aspect 4. What does that mean?
It's the number of aspects that you have, correct? Because you gain an aspect. You buy an aspect. So are you using the auto level?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means you have 4 aspects you buy. Because if
Right.
you look, Right. So you buy the aspect.
Oh, where are they?
Those are what's in chapter 8.
Wait.
Did we just have this conversation?
Well, no, we were just doing enhancements. That was in chapter 7.
And then I said, yeah, and then your aspects are in chapter 8.
Okay, gotcha. We're good.
Yep. So, Pesto.
Yes, sir.
What can I do to help?
Oh gosh, I'm a lost cause, sir.
Oh, nonsense.
No. I think
you have
the
your
explanation that you gave to Chaz, I think, kind of kick-started something in my brain.
You have your anima card, your base traits for your anima card set up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll find out when I send you the character.
That's fair. I'll happily look at your character and double check your math and whatnot.
There's math involved too. Just
Well,
writing down numbers.
As you're adding things, yes, that's math.
Ow. Okay. Get it. Skills and enhancement on the skill. Yeah. Okay.
So, all right. Is everyone far enough along that they're confident in discussing our other basic stuff we need to cover, like our safety tools and things along that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Why not?
Once again, if you've seen the show before, you've seen us go over this, but it never hurts to go over it again. So we use a number of safety tools at the table just to make sure everybody's here to have a good time. That's what we're here for. That's what we're going to do. We're going to preserve everyone's good time. I tend to use the X card partially because it's easy, and partially because it's easy to do on a stream. Somebody can just make an X with their hands, for example, if they need to stop, if I'm not noticing it in the chat or whatever. So if there's anything what the X card is, if there's any content that for whatever reason we need to stop, whether it be upsetting or just not appropriate for whatever reason, if it's bothering you, you hit the X, we stop the game, we figure out what the content was. If there's any confusion about it, we excise it from the game and we move forward. Having said that, though, I also like to make sure that we touch base with no-go and yes-go areas. For example, I have a SA no-go in my games. It just doesn't appear in my games. We don't do it. But it's not present in play. No reason to have it there. So I like to ask everyone what their yes-goes and no-goes might be. So let's go ahead and start that off this time with Pesto, please. Do you have any no-goes, any things you'd like to make sure that we avoid in the story, and any yes-goes, things that you want to make sure we include in the story, above and beyond your aspirations? Okay.
As far as no-goes, I don't have anything in mind for that. Yes, I agree with you, some sort of monologue from Lex Luthor over there.
All right, that's fair. I'll
Is
allow
it though? Fine. Remember, you asked for this shit.
I'll clip that and put it in my pocket for later.
He's gonna come in with his hat off and like a black trench coat on, a white shirt with like button down to like the second button. All right, Chaz, any no-goes, any yes-goes?
No goes. I think for this one, the X card, if something happens, I'll just use that. I can't think of any no-goes right now. I also like no yes goes. I mean, like we have like Lex Luthor coming up with the monologue, and so I'm
just a second ready.
I feel yeah, I second that. I feel like all my needs will be like met in that episode. So yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. All right. Yes goes or no goes for you, Alex?
Nah, man, I'm good. You said no essay, right?
Yeah, no essay. That's my big one.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And
if anything comes to mind, I'd prefer no animal abuse.
Right.
If we could.
That's fair.
I have sensitive ears.
Right. No, fair. And just as more of an exercise for the audience who may be watching than an exercise in our discussion. But just to clarify, does that extend to the fantasy creatures that exist in Terra Surge?
No, destroy them.
All right, very good. I just want to make sure if I'm like, well, you guys are going to need to go grind boars for the next 340 weeks.
You can grind wolves. Just no grinding of half black lab, half cocker spaniel.
That's fair. No animal abuse with a specific underline of no abusing my actual pet. Noted.
Yeah, I'm good.
Beautiful.
If anything comes up, I'll throw a fit. Don't worry.
Excellent. Well, in that case, then, I also would like to remind you that everyone's favorite part of character creation, you get to do twice in Anima, which is, what's your name?
I already beat you to it.
Okay, what you got?
Me? I'm Anthony Valentino. Or
That's
Valentine.
right. That's right. That's right. You mentioned that earlier. Any thoughts on a name there, Chaz?
Give me 30 seconds.
Sure. Take your 30. Pesto, names?
Pom Pom.
Pom Pom. You mentioned that earlier, which I think is great too. And do you have like an image, like an appearance in mind for Pom Pom?
Oh, no, not yet. But Fluffy definitely comes in mind, that description. That's about it.
Fluffy as in like a sheep, or Fluffy as in like a Gabriel Iglesias or your story guide?
Like a sheep.
Okay.
That sensitive face. A beautiful job.
Riding it on a cloud.
Excellent. And if I'm not mistaken, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, your peoples are the ones depicted in some of the anima art that has already been seen, the sort of blue, glowy, spiritual-looking sort of creatures.
Ooh.
So you could have kind of a
vibe.
Juliet Starling from Lollipop Chainsaw, but as a sheep. Listen,
That's my tank.
I'm gonna need fan art.
Not it. I already got to write monologues. So
yeah, if you think of a description, if you can think of like descriptions between now and the next session, that would be good. And then for you had Pom Pom for your anima, but what about for your character?
Kiri.
Kiri? Excellent. You have a last name for Kiri, or is it just Kiri?
Kiri Knightley.
it's just gonna keep going.
This isn't like a sad, somber story that we're playing, right?
Sure.
Oh.
Huh? What?
Oh man, these aspects are too cool. Like I have no idea what to do. This is really, really difficult. Like, this is the hardest part now. It's like picking aberrant powers, man. This is ridiculous. Like I just want to do it all. Like that's just
Well, you know, just didn't you once write a co-write a UI for a certain MMO that was about like min-maxing your character's performance?
Well, yeah. But I didn't have to do it in Acrobat. Okay? My mouse wheel finger is numb.
See, it's just like when you first started playing MMOs. Like you
already have carpal tunnel.
Oh, beautiful. And Chaz, did you settle on a name? I'm sorry.
I'm thinking in game I'm going to be called Peaches.
Oh,
I love it.
I do too.
I love it, and I'm for it. And out of game?
We'll go like Mako. Doesn't have a last name. Never got a last name. They gave him one, but he was like, I don't know who these people are. So
Right
just
on.
go by Mako.
Beautiful.
Is it Mako? But is it Mako spelled like Maaco, like the auto place, or is it like a Mako shark?
It was like a Mako shark. I might go corporate though.
Like you saw it on a billboard.
It's like
That's the one.
That's it.
I love it.
It's got two A's next to each other. I mean, how can you say no?
Cool. Well, I think is there anything that I'm missing? Anything that you all feel like we haven't covered yet? I know a couple of you are still making some tweaks to like your aspects and whatnot. Do you want to, is anybody like done with their character? Like completely 100%?
Two questions about the aspects.
Sure.
There's this like quest thing to it. Are we?
Yes.
Can we have gotten that? And does that take like a second aspect in order to achieve, or that's something we'll get as we play? For instance, like Overpower has like a buff, like knockback at level 10. The Anima may choose to knock his opponent back one range band with this Overpower stun. But I don't know if that's like something you have to get on top of it, or if it's just like you get it and then it levels up with you.
Can you tell me which one specifically you're looking at?
Overpower, it is on page 41 of chapter 8.
Sure. Let me just take a peek real quick.
Oh, and you're gonna, regardless, you're gonna have to give us items before we leave.
Oh yeah, good call.
Well, I mean, I will get you items before we play.
Get
you
him
need-
now.
Do you need are you talking about for your animas? Are you talking about for your physical people?
No, the roll item on drop chart.
Oh, yes.
I think we all get one, right?
Yep.
And keep an eye toward where that is. Just looking at the questing rules real quick. Because I believe I do feel perfectly fine in saying that yeah, so quests, if something has a quest phase listed, that means it operates that way during that quest phase.
Gotcha.
So if you have a different ability that's tied to it, you can use it whenever, that doesn't have a quest phase called out. You can use it like that whenever. But when you enter that quest phase, that's when that ability starts working that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, because all of the phases are broken down into four, or all the quests are broken down into 4 phases
Right.
of play.
All right. That makes sense.
Right. So you can't use, if you're not on a quest, you can't use that ability. If it says phase 3, you have to be in phase 3 of the quest to use it.
Nice.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Where's the roll on loot table? It's a table you roll on, man. What page was that on, Alex?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still looking through my my things. Well, I was looking at the leveling chart and I realized it said roll item on thing, and I figured that was a you thing. Because we have to get stuff that's totally useless. We can trade them later. Are these things soulbound? I mean, are they no drop? Can we just vendor them?
I guess it would depend on the thing. Okay, how many loot drops do we have to roll for?
I think just one each, right?
Yeah.
And does it list a rarity?
It just says,
Roll on item drop chart.
yep.
Okay.
So we might get something shitty.
So give me a D10, Alex, since you're so interested in what what the loot was.
I don't even, man, I don't have a dice. Wait a minute. Do I have any dice in this room? I don't.
While Alex tries to solve his dice problem, Chaz, you want to roll on the loot? Is it just one that you have in your level up?
Yeah.
All right. Give me a roll.
I got me a 10.
Nice.
What is it? A D10 we're rolling?
Yes.
It's a 6.
Okay. Okay. Two seconds. All right, and then let's get another D10 from both of you.
Just closed it.
This time it's a 4.
Okay, so you have a burning blade, Chaz.
Yes. Yes, I do.
And that's on page 29 of chapter 8.
I got a 6 and a 9.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. You have traveler's robes.
Sounds fancy.
And those are on also page 29
Of which one?
of chapter 8.
Okay.
And then did you roll your 2 dice for me?
Yeah, I got an 8 and a 3.
Excellent. And you have a armor potion,
Julio.
also on page 28. And when you send me those, I will be assigning some extra tags to those as well. So, thank you so much for the raid, by the way. Sorry, I was digging in books and missed it. But I appreciate the raid. You're awesome.
Get a raid from.
All right. We got a raid from Ravnos Archon. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, far out.
All right. So, I think we have enough to make us dangerous. You can finish your character sheets, get them to me at your earliest convenience. I will get together with Sir not appearing on this stream sometime in the next week or so. And we'll go from there. I would like to take this opportunity to remind everyone that Trinity Continuum Anima will be starting on Kickstarter very, very, very soon. And you can go to the Kickstarter page right now to get a quick preview and to follow it so that way, when the Kickstarter does go live, you can be one of the first backers, get early access to the manuscript, all that good fun stuff. As the updates are rolling out, you'll eventually, by the end of the Kickstarter, you'll have everything you need to be able to run your own game in Anima. I also want to let you know that we will be here Mondays for the duration of the Kickstarter anyway, playing this game. We'll be starting same bat time, same bat channel, and we'll be playing throughout. I want to remind you, if you've not yet checked it out, the Trinity Continuum core book is not only available at your friendly local game store. If they're not carrying it, just ask them to order it and they can. But it's also available in print on demand and PDF over at Drive-Thru RPG. And I want to invite you to, if you've not yet done so, please follow the channel, subscribe, all that good stuff, so you know when we go live. Subscribers get instant access to video on demand, while everybody else has a 7-day wait period while that's exclusive for subs. And you get some neat little icons you can use in the chat. So, as we are wrapping things up, let's have everyone say our goodbyes. Let's start off with Pesto this time. Go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, who you will be playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would like to share with the class.
Far out. Hello, everybody. I am Pesto Mystic, a random game streamer person on Twitch. I will be playing Kiri nightly, person in the real world, and then my anima is going to be Pom Pom, a fluffy sentient. And pronouns are she, her. So thank you so much I'm excited.
Thank you for being here. I'm excited to have you. Next up, we have Chaz. Please give us all of your pertinence.
Hi, so I am Chaz, he, him, and I will be playing Mako, the hyper-positive former orphan. And in the virtual world, he goes by, what is his name? Peaches, yes. Peaches, the fearless red blade, who always has some sort of heart-shaped weapon or hug waiting for you.
I kind of hope that Peaches is like 8 foot tall, like ripped.
Just pure.
Just no neck, just veins that go from like the jaws to the shoulders.
Just constantly just like looks like he's about to like wrestling apart. Then it's like
that myostatin inhibited pit bull. Like it's like its nose has muscles for some reason.
Right, but like with the heart, the whole heart theme, the full.
Oh, that's gonna be pure, yeah.
Glorious. And do we get pronouns and things you'd like to promote?
Pronouns, both he, him. Anything I'd like to promote while you're checking this out, also check out the class collection on Drive-Thru RPG. Super fun. Lots of of course, my favorite classes in there are the Warlocks. I might be slightly partial.
You're a little biased, but that's okay.
Because 95% of the games I play in D&D have me playing as a Warlock. But that's neither here nor there.
So anyway, I start blasting.
So check them out, and when you leave reviews, make sure you say nice things about how much you love the Warlocks that Chaz built. Definitely go over and check out class collection. It's a lot of fun for Scarred Lands, but also usable with any of your 5e OGL settings. And the link for that's in the chat. And then Alex, please.
My name is Alex, he, him. I am playing Anthony Valentino, also he, him, multi-billionaire philanthropist, online persona Valentine, the mage soul worker, who will be apparently spending a lot of time practicing his monologuing for your listening pleasure. and otherwise doing his best to hide behind people and arrange for great and not so great things to happen at any given time.
I love it. I guess that leaves, to be your pronouns, Alex?
He, him, he, him.
I am so like, whoo. It's the end of
Also,
a long
this
day.
is Baxter. Also he, him.
And Baxter is arguably the cutest dog on the internet.
My co-star. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.
Everybody say hi to Baxter. Hey, Baxter. Look at you. Oh my goodness. On that note, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that, but I'll try. So yeah, on that note, I am Travis Legge. My pronouns are he, him, or they. They're all fine. And when I'm not doing this, I'm running other games on this channel or over at Plastic Age Plays. I am, next here, I'm over at, or next time I'm here on this channel will be Wednesday. I'll be here for Scarred Lands, Sins of Shelzar Season 2. We're playing through Dead Man's Rust. And our next episode is Wednesday at 9 Eastern. And yeah, I also do a little bit of writing from time to time for the games, including the Scarred Lands, which you should go buy everything for. You should also buy everything for Trinity Continuum, Anima, and Trinity Continuum in general. I want to thank everybody, my players, for being here and helping make this awesome story. I can't wait to tell it with you. I would like to thank everybody who stopped in to the stream, whether we were live or whether you're watching this now in an archive. And I want to remind everyone to please get your shots, please. If you've not yet gotten your booster, go get boosted. Let's get this thing handled and kicked in the tailpipe. And otherwise, be good to yourselves and each other. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.
All right, buddy.
Exclusive footage of this infuriating Terror